Hi everyone, I'm Luke Hopper, broadcasting live from Point Blank Music School here in East London. Welcome along to this special artist hangout in the Academy of Electronic Music, brought to you by Google, Armada Music, DJ Mag and Point Blank. So today we have a very special guest for you. It's none other than Ruben de Ronde. Ruben is the co-host and sidekick on Armin van Buuren's A State of Trance radio show. He's a successful DJ, passionate producer and label owner of Statement Recordings, and one of the reviewers for DJ Mag Netherlands. Keeping his ear to the ground for new talent constantly, Ruben is a big fan of the Academy of Electronic Music, and we're very excited to be getting some exclusive advice for our Academy students in this session. So, hello Ruben, welcome along.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good, man, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good, thanks for joining us today. So obviously you're the co-host on the A State of Trance radio show, which has over 20 million listeners worldwide.
Yeah.
Before we go to the questions from the Academy students, I just wanted to ask, what are the kind of secrets behind the success of the show, you know, and achieving such a massive audience, a huge following?
I think the biggest secret is to be the first with all the tunes, like and make sure that all the tunes are the best ones that are out there right now.
Yeah.
And also it's there every single week.
Okay.
So and that for so many years already. So it's a constant factor in people's life. They program their life around it, and they really look forward to it. And you see that one of the biggest success of State of Trance is that people are really while listening, they're really active on the internet.
Okay.
Every single week, it's trending topic on Twitter on Thursdays. So I think that's one of the biggest things behind it.
Okay. So do you like interact with the listeners a lot as well? I guess if so, many tweets
definitely.
and comments.
There's someone at the Armada office and myself are on Twitter with using @ASOT. So during the shows, there's live track listings, and the rest of the week, people can just communicate, ask questions. They can let us know what they want to hear and stuff like that. Cool,
man. Well, you know, thanks for giving us an insight.
Yeah.
Now we're going to get some questions from the students on the Academy course. First up, Carolis, what's your question for Ruben, please?
Hey Ruben, how are you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm just gonna ask kind of a simple one. How did you meet Armin, and like how long do you know him?
I met him already, I think, about 9 years ago or something, and I've been working for State of Trance for 7 now. We always met on parties while I was promoting my tracks that are released on my label Statement Recordings. So I was walking around on parties with CDs in my hand or vinyls and giving it to DJs. And at a certain point, and I was working for a beer brewery actually at that moment. Michael, the manager of Armin, called me. He was like, "Can you drop by and talk with you about something?" And then they were like, "Can you please work for us and promote the music of Armada Music at that time?" And then also a couple of days a week work for State of Trance. So that's how it started. And yeah, like I said, it was about 7 years ago.
Great story. Thanks.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Also, we have Gabrielle. Have you got a question for Ruben?
Oh yes, hi. What inspired you to become a DJ?
I think the same as you guys. It's the passion for music and really want to share it with an audience. And yeah, like when you hear a certain tune, you're like, oh, I really want to play this out. I want to share this with as biggest audience as possible. And besides that, the buzz you get for playing in front of a crowd is just amazing. So that's one of the reasons behind it, I guess. And certainly for you guys as well, you make your own music, and being able to play your own music for a big crowd is the best feeling there is. So that's why.
Thank you.
Cool, thanks Ruben. Ramon, how are you doing, man? Are you well?
Yeah, hi Ruben.
Hi, Ruben.
My question for you is, what do you think what is the most important thing to arrive in the heart of people and build a big following, you know?
You mean how to create a following, and is that what you meant?
Yeah, of course. And what do you think is it's important to arrive in the heart of people? You know what I mean?
I think the most important thing to do is, and people really notice that, is make music with your heart. That's the famous quote that Armin has right now: "Make music with your heart and don't follow the chart."
Very good advice.
Yeah, as long as you breathe the passion for music in your own tunes, then people will notice it, and they will get excited as soon as you have a new release or anything. So I think it's the passion that you show to the rest of the world that creates a following. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
And Aaron, how are you? Have you got a question for Ruben as well?
Hello, Ruben. Great to meet you.
Likewise.
My question is, what are the essential steps to take your productions to the next level before you have a manager or maybe an agent involved?
Do you mean to get exposure on your tunes without any management behind you?
Yeah. To get exactly that. Yes.
Well, that's a bit of a hard question, I guess. That also has to do with the same question before this. Make sure that your tunes get noticed. Make sure that you're a perfectionist on your work, and don't send out tunes that you don't really feel are 100% finished. So make sure to socialize with bigger artists, and make sure that they play your tunes in their sets. And that's a bit of a hard question because you're already in the position right now that you are being noticed by the Academy, of course, and your tunes are maybe going to be released by Armada Music, and that's already a big step. So I think you already passed the station that you need to get noticed.
So what would you say, Ruben, what do you think is the way for the guys to sort of capitalize on the exposure they're getting in the Academy?
Well, the key for everything is the tunes, of course. As soon as there's good tunes to back up your career, that's the key of everything. So just make sure that you keep on producing and get those tunes out there. Cool. That's the most important thing. It starts all with the productions that you do.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Adrian and Vlad, have you got a question for Ruben as well?
Yeah. Hi, Ruben.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. My question for you is how essential is for electronic dance music producer to be a DJ?
How important is it? Well, you don't need to be a DJ when you're a producer, but you see that especially the last couple of years, every single producer has started to DJ as well on the side, mainly because of the income, I guess, because the income on music has gone down a lot, and as soon as you have a big track, promoters will start to contact you if you can DJ or not. So I think, how important is it that you DJ? It depends. Because there's also a lot of ghost producers that produce for other people, or as long as I don't know really how to answer this question, to be honest. But I think you create the tunes nowadays to become more successful as a DJ, and it used to be the other way around, that you start DJing to expose your tunes. So I think it's very important that like I said, it starts with the tunes, and that's the most important for you right now. And I mean, I don't know if you want to DJ. Do you DJ?
I'm producer.
Okay. Yeah, and you don't really want to become a DJ?
I want.
Okay. Well, that answers your own question, I guess.
Yeah. I think there's also something to be said. You talked a bit earlier, Ruben, about the kind of feeling of playing your own tracks out. You know, it's an amazing buzz, and it's something I'm sure people want to get hold of, really.
Yeah, I think as soon as you have your own productions and you get the chance to play them out, and you'll notice it yourself. That's the best feeling you have. So it will only inspire you to make more music, to make sure that you get more gigs, and to play more tunes out yourself as well. So
exactly. And Jonathan, have you got a question for Ruben as well?
Yeah. Hi, Ruben.
Hi.
My question is, what are labels looking for in terms of new talent signings?
Well, I do, besides having my own label, I do also the A&Ring for Armin's labels, for Armind, A State of Trance, and Who's Afraid of 138. And the most important thing that you see in the last couple of years as well, with the upcoming of Origin Nielsen, Andrew Rayel, for example, is to stand out with your productions. It's so easy to go to the Beatport top 10 and just start to recreate what's already there. But I don't think it will ever get you to a certain level. And it's also the same with building a following, because if you have your own sound and so people recognize your productions, that's the most important thing, I guess. Like as soon as you would hear a tune in the club, you know straight away, hey, that's a tune by him.
Yeah.
I think
And
also
that's what we really look for at the moment, because it's something original, something that stands out. That's the most important thing you can find as an A&R.
most definitely. I think the guys as well, judging by all of the 7 of you, your kind of homework assignments that Ski's been setting, you can already hear your sounds, you know, individually.
Yeah,
which is an amazing.
I think that's the most important thing, that you create a sort of a signature sound that people can hear straight away that it's your tune.
Yeah.
Cool. And finally, we've got Ryan. How you doing, Ryan? Have you got a question for Ruben?
Yeah, cheers, mate. How you doing, Ruben? You okay?
I'm fine, Ryan. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I think you're
Getting married.
Yeah. Thanks for that. She'll love that actual comment now. It's like home going, woo! But yeah, I think you probably already answered it, really. But if you were in my position right at the moment, being in the academy, what would your next steps be to be signed to a DJ agency, a pretty respectable one or something like that?
Yeah, like I said earlier, the key thing is to have your productions out there. As soon as your productions get noticed and you get charted and other DJs start playing it, you will create a sort of a buzz, and agencies will line up for you as soon as you have a buzz. That's one thing for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, what I really want to say to you guys is make the most out of this academy, because you have Point Blank behind you supporting the productions and Armada Music that can create exposure for you guys. So make sure that you learn as much as you can.
Definitely.
Thanks so much, Ruben. I've also got one question myself, actually. I also wanted to ask, you know, you mentioned obviously A&Ring and working so closely with Armada. Are there any things in particular that would turn you off of a demo or a production that you heard?
Well, the funny thing, I get sent like I don't know, a couple of 100 tunes per week, or maybe even 1,000.
Wow!
You can already hear straight away if a production is good or not. So make sure that your productions sound good. Not necessarily loud, but sound good. So make sure that all the levels are right, the EQing is right, the final mixing is okay. Yeah, and like what I said before, make sure that you stand out, do something different. That's the most important thing.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Ruben, for taking the time to hang out with us today.
No problem.
Thank you to all you 7 guys as well. Excellent questions.
Yeah. Is there any other questions, by the way?
Have we got any other questions?
Yeah. How did you get into A State of Trance, working with the radio show and starting it up and everything? You were just asked like, hey. Come join. Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's what I said earlier. That I started working for State of Trance and for Armin 7 years ago, and I think Armin gives me more freedom every episode basically, which means that I'm also doing the interviews right now for the radio show. So like, for example, this week we're gonna have Solarstone on the show, and I just did an interview with him. So yeah, I think I'm the luckiest guy on the planet with the job that I do with State of Trance, and on top of it my DJing, of course, and so yeah.
It's a great job.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool job.
But it's working hard. I mean,
yeah,
you work 24/7. Sometimes it's a price that you need to pay for missing out other stuff in your life, like maybe some birthdays or because you're on tour or you're away. But it's the price you have to pay. But it's the best job you can have in return.
Yeah.
Okay, Ruben, we've got another question just come in, I think through the comments on the YouTube broadcast.
Yeah.
Someone's asked, as a new DJ, is it a good idea to start your career with like radio and broadcasting like that way?
Yeah, absolutely, because with the radio show, you can also create an identity. What I mentioned before, because the tunes that you pick every week or every month, you can showcase your style, your productions, and it's also nice to build a fan base around a radio show. So I think it's definitely a good idea to for all of you guys as well to look into if you can start a radio show to showcase, to interact, and make sure that your name is out there.
Cool. And also, we've got another question that's come in.
Yeah,
someone has asked the best way that you advise about going to approach a label with your demo. You know, you mentioned you get thousands. I guess they come through a Dropbox or an email or something similar.
Very, very good question, actually. What I would like to see in a demo email, tell something short about you, not a whole story. I don't need to see your whole biography or anything, or your discography. What I like best is SoundCloud, because that way I don't need to download anything, and you can listen to something straight away. And make sure that you don't use websites that like Rapid Share or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You need to wait. You click a link. You need to wait for half an hour before you can download anything. Then it's already gone, you know. And make sure it looks clean. I mean,
is there something, you know, obviously SoundCloud, sometimes a public file, you know, it's already heard by hundreds of people. For a label, is it something where you'd rather have it, you know, privately kept under wraps almost?
Yeah, absolutely, because it's possible that a tune is already out there and people can already. I think there are ways to download from SoundCloud as well.
Yeah, that's true.
And the most interesting thing for a label, of course, is to sign something that is not out there yet, so you can plan a proper promotion around it, the right moment to launch a track, the right marketing around it. So, and if the track is already public and people have heard it already, it might spoil the surprise for a lot of people.
Yeah. And we've got another one that's come in. Someone has also asked if, when approaching Armada in particular, does it have to be trance?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
No. Because I mean, there's so many great sublabels at Armada Music. You have, of course, Trice Recordings, the new 6K recordings, M Recordings, Zouk. It's in the whole show. Yeah, it's the whole EDM that's in there as well. And recently they've launched a deep house label as well. So I think it's more important that the song is quality and it's something interesting that stands out than necessarily the style.
Yeah, I think also maybe even veering off of styles or you know, the templates of styles gives you that extra quality or that that's standing out from the crowd.
True.
Cool, guys. Have you got any more questions in the Hangout? Come on, I know you have.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Oh.
We've got, I mean, in the meantime, we've got another one that's come in from the comments on the broadcast. Do you have any advice for small labels or for someone trying to set up, you know, a label?
It's the same thing as with being a producer. You need to make sure that you stand out and sign original stuff.
Yep.
There are like a million of labels out there, and if you sign bad music, you will never get anywhere. But if you manage to sign any good music and you stand out and you create a following again, then yeah, that's the most important thing. Stand out.
Yeah, most definitely. I think especially in the digital age, you know, there are so many record labels. It's quite easy to set up a digital label as well.
Yeah, you can start a label today and have a tune out tomorrow. That's how it is. But there's so much more to it with a label. I mean, there's if you see Armada, you would not say that there's about 40 or 50 people working there, because there's the A&R department, and you have the social media department, and the whole finance and royalties structure, and the legal department. So there's a lot more to it than just to sign a track and just throw it into the internet. That's.
Have any of you guys in the Hangout, have you considered starting your own label, or have you approached labels up to this point?
Maybe later on when I'm further in my career.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Years.
Yeah, it's also a part again of the whole identity that you create around yourself as a producer or a DJ. Like the certain sound or signature that you have can also be combined with a label at a certain point. If you have a good following and the right signature sound, that you can create a circle around you with the artists that fit that sound or fit that signature, then it's definitely something worth looking into. Yeah.
I think there's also got to be something to be said for to put out material. You know, it's not really about starting a label for the sake of it. You know, if you have some material that you feel needs to get out there, you know, that's the reason to pursue it.
It's always quality over quantity.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's better to release 3 like brilliant tracks in a year than to release something every week that you're not really 100% sure about.
Most definitely. Okay, we've got just another one on the kind of the demo side of things. You know, you being in A&R. Someone's asked if it's necessary to master a track before sending it to a label.
Well, it's not necessary. It doesn't need to be mastered, but it needs to sound good. I mean, it's a good expression that I could say you can't polish a turd. Which is the truth. So it needs to be sound good already. You know.
Yeah.
In the end, the mastering process is just a little bit extra on top, I guess.
Okay. Cool. So I think we've just maybe got one more question coming in from the comments.
Can I ask a question as well,
Yeah,
Ruben?
of course, Ryan. Go for it.
Can you run us through a little bit what your studio setup is like? What you use and what VSTs are your favorite and stuff like that? Or?
I use Ableton Live 8. The most I have you can actually see it here right now. I have KRK VXT6 speakers. And I run everything on the PC because I think the Mac has been slacking lately. The PCs are just way better and faster right now. Sorry if there's any Mac.
I'll back you up on that one.
And the plugins I use most are the Waves bundles, the Silent One, of course, and the Omnisphere for Omnisphere and Trillion for the bass lines and for the pads and stuff.
Okay, cool.
And I have a Virus and a Blofeld by Waldorf.
Cool. Any more questions from you guys in the Hangout?
Yeah, I was wondering. Hi, Ruben.
Hi.
I was wondering, do you mix your music that is in the studio while producing?
You mean the mix down?
I guess. Do you mix as you go, or?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. I definitely do, but because I think at a certain point, if you put in a sound, you're so focused on a particular sound that you want to make sure that it's right in the mix already. But in the end, at the final process, it's possible that you do some EQing or anything at the later stage as well. But most of the times, I do it while making music.
Yeah.
So while you're working on the sound, make sure that sound is right in the mix, and yeah, that's the best way for me personally. But it can be different for you as well, of course.
Okay. Any more, just as we kind of approach the end of time, guys?
I have one, if I may.
Yeah, of course, Carolus, go for it.
Ruben, is there any sort of element did you start off with the track? For example, would you start off with a melody or a riff, for example?
Okay. Most of the times I actually start with a piano.
Okay.
I mean, with a simple piano melody, and from there on I work further, and it will be piano, bass line, or anything. It depends really on the track. But most of the times I start off with a piano as a main sound, and maybe change it into like a synth or whatever. But I start off with a piano for the melody, for the main melody.
Thanks, Ruben.
Is that how you work, Carolus? How do you tend to start
off? Well, I kind of start with the melody and kind of build everything around it, like the bass line, and work around.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thanks.
Okay, cool. I think we've got. 1 second. I think we've got maybe just another question from the guys watching the broadcast at home. So, Ruben, we've got another question around the radio show itself. How long does it take to organise it? And also, someone's asked if it's done in one take as well.
Well, the radio shows nowadays are I think every single mix show is being made in Ableton right now.
Okay.
So it's not something about one take.
Mm-hmm.
But to prepare a show like A State of Trance, it takes, I think, a full week, because you need to find all the tunes, check all the promos, and then put everything together. Armin needs to mix it, and we need to write a script as well, and make sure that there's content like interviews, chase exclusive tracks. So I think as soon as the show is done, which is mostly on Wednesday that it's finished, then starts already straight away the show for the next week.
And that's a process of collecting tracks and material.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
First content, and then scripting, mixing. No.
Yeah, so a full job.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. I think we might have the final question. JC's just scribbling away. Give me 1 sec.
Okay.
Here we go. Okay, cool. This is a very good question, actually. Do you listen to, as an A&R, do you listen to all the music that you're sent? Obviously, you get sent loads. Is it possible to do that?
No, that's impossible.
Okay.
So that's also a good thing to mention, that you asked earlier about how your email should look like. So if there's weird links in there, or it just doesn't look right, or the story is just really weird, then it's possible that you can just skip it. But I wish I could check everything, but it's just not possible.
So it's worth taking the time to write that email, and present yourself in a way.
Yeah, because it's your presentation. It's the same thing if you have a shop and you want to show something to your customers, that you show it in the right way as well, not in the back of the store.
Most definitely. Excellent advice, Ruben. That is about time. I think we've gone through nearly all the questions.
Okay.
So thanks so much for coming and hanging out with us today. I hope you enjoyed it.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you for your tips.
You have this opportunity to learn so much in this short period of time, and make sure that you make the most out of it. And I hope to see you someday at the Armada office, or see your demos.
That will be great.
Yeah, that would be wicked. So yeah, thanks again, Ruben. That was really insightful. Excellent advice for the guys and for everybody watching at home as well. I hope that you guys watching at home enjoyed it as much as we did. The next EMC session is going to be tomorrow. That's Wednesday at 3 PM UK time. And in the meantime, if you're watching at home and you want to get your hands on loads of free high quality tutorials, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/pointblankonline. And if you do subscribe between now and Monday, you're also entered into a competition to win loads of prizes from Ableton, Novation and AIAIAI as well. That's it from us. Thanks again to Ruben and to all the 7 lucky winners of the AEM. We'll see you next time, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.